Well, welcome everybody. I'd like to introduce our speaker for today. Patti Wilcox is the co-founder of Awestruck Ciders in Sydney, New York, where she spent the last 12 years taking it from a team of 0 to over 30 people. And after a 2023 restructuring, she turned to AI to help rebuild operations and grow sales. She helps fellow cideries, wineries, and breweries navigate AI, which I'm looking forward to very much, and translating buzzwords into ready-to-use beverage-specific workflows that augment people, not replace them. So I don't know about you guys, but AI is here and it's happening, and I know, especially my job, it's definitely happening. So I'm really excited to learn more about this. So I'll turn things over to Patti at this point.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Hutch, for that great intro. And Hutch is the brewer at the Culinary Institute of America, and he told me that they're making big moves there with AI. So it's exciting to get that intel. So today's session is, our goal is to have fun. We're going to do live demos. We're going to try to just be really authentic, not super serious. But we do have a ton of 8 workflows is like way too many. Audra can relate. 8 workflows is way too many, so we're going to speed through them. But I'm hoping to save at least 20 minutes for questions at the end. That little blue bar at the bottom tells you how far along we are so that you don't give up hope that this will never end. So I always like to start by taking a gauge of the room where people are at. So who in the room, raise hands, is excited about AI for breweries? All right, good. Okay, if you're in the room, that's good. Should be excited. How about skeptical? Who here's not really sure how this thing's gonna work? Okay, and anybody else tinkering with it? So you use it at home for recipes maybe, but want to get more value? Okay, and then the last one is appointed. Is anyone here because somebody else told you you have to be here? Well, that one's actually kind of interesting, and I think all of us feel this when we talk about AI. We start talking about jobs, and people are being appointed within companies and said, okay, you're going to figure out AI, and that's a really scary. Probably if you're the owner, you're in that position, and it's scary to be there. But what I want to reassure you is, being in this room is the single best thing you can do to protect your job and the jobs of everyone at your company and your company as well. And I have Nielsen data to back that up. So let's get into it. You probably already feel overwhelmed about AI. Today's session is going to make you feel more overwhelmed. It's also going to make you feel really excited, really pumped. You're going to have things that you can actually take action on. But just accept the overwhelm. It never ends. Audra's building with AI. I've been doing this for 3 years, and the more I learn, the more I feel like I'm behind. So just be aware that that's just the name of the game. Accept it and just do everything you can to level up every day. So speaking of leveling up, this chart here represents the world's population. And all of the gray dots are people not currently using AI. This is as of February 2026. The green dots are people using AI in the free tier. The yellow dots are people using AI in the paid tier. And the red dots are people using AI coding tools like Claude Code and Codex. I'm going to give you a little glimpse. Has anyone used those, Claude Code, Codex? Okay, great, awesome. So I'll give you a little glimpse into what we are building inside of Awestruck using those tools at the very end. But my 1 second level up is if you're gonna leave this room and go get a beer, first let me tell you, buy a paid subscription. That's the instant level up. It costs you less than $20. And the reason why is these paid tools have newer models, better capabilities. It's like going from a toy hammer to a nail gun. And speaking of investment, it's kind of a crazy space right now. So in 2025, MIT came out with a study that said 95% of enterprises failed to see ROI on AI implementations. So I'm speaking to you as a company, Awestruck Ciders. Make sure you grab some ciders. We have some of our ciders here, so make sure you guys try those today. So we are a company in the 5%. We are getting ROI. And how we're getting ROI is keeping our costs down. It's hard to get ROI when you spend millions and billions of dollars, right? So we're talking today about using $20 tools. And the other thing is using real workflows. So not just saying, oh, play around with it. Studies, they've been researching this. Companies that do that have failed implementations all the time. Now it's time for my favorite thing ever. This was published in March 2025 from Nielsen and Kearney. And this is why you are protecting the jobs of everyone at your company by being here. Size no longer matters. So as of March 2026, challenger brands are outcompeting bigger brands with bigger budgets using AI tools and staying nimble and adaptive. This is proven right now. You have right now the ability and resources to outcompete every other company on the market. How does that feel? Woo! Woohoo! Cheers to that! So who's this girl to talk about AI? I am an actual I founded a cidery and we operate it every day, and we have been for the past 3 years using AI. I have AI certificates from Wharton and from Amazon Web Services, but more importantly, we are actively using this. We have a research partnership with Binghamton University on implementing AI as a BevAlc company. We have secured over $150,000 in grants. We have replicated $100,000 a year software. We have improved the speed and quality of our onboarding, and we have the SKU launch lead time and more. I'm going to show you how to do every single one of these things live today. So these are live demos. If you want to participate, you can text 607-287-0670, a picture of a shelf set, if you have one, and we will analyze it live in front of the class. All right. So we're going to start actually with free money. That's the best thing to start with. And we're going to set up a recurring task inside of ChatGPT. So usually the number one question that I get asked at these is like, which AI provider do I choose? And my personal daily driver is Claude. I'm going to, Audra, I think that's your favorite as well. Yeah. I'm going to show you guys the three main ones, which is Claude, ChatGPT, and Gemini. So you'll get a glimpse into all of them today to see what you think. All right, so within Chat, does everyone recognize this screen? This is not brand new territory. It might be for some. So we are going to set up a recurring task. My favorite feature is the dictate feature. So you're going to hear a lot of dictated prompts. I am a brewer in New York State, and I'm looking for grants to help my company grow. I want you to set up a recurring task, a scheduled task, to do a search for grants my company might qualify for, and output that for me every Monday at 9 a.m. Don't run the task right now. Just give me a quick 5-bullet overview of the grants scene in New York State for breweries. So you can see it's not always like perfect. I said for breweries and it'll say for brewers, but it's usually close enough. Awesome. So here we have our quick snapshot. And there's a micro grant program, food and fiber processing grant, lots of good stuff. Yes, schedule. Now, if you want to make this more effective, you're going to put in more specific information about your brewery that would make you qualify or not for certain grants, right? But here you can see, I'm so happy, it's scheduled. If you put this in, the only way you know that this is scheduled is this little box right here. So I'm going to be getting alerts for breweries on Monday. So call me Monday at 9 a.m. if you guys want the intel on grants. Great. All right, next, you've already seen kind of a glimpse at this. This is my next level up for today. This is a $15 tool. It's a USB microphone, and it has essentially replaced my keyboard. So coding offices are now a bunch of people in front of a computer with gooseneck microphones whispering into it all day long. That's what coding looks like right now, because it's so much faster than typing. And I love it, especially in the brewery. Like, your hands are full, you're doing stuff. We're in rural areas. We don't have like cell service. Because we have to drive places, and we have to drive places without cell service. So anytime I drive somewhere, I have my Bluetooth headphones on and I'm doing a voice transcription of whatever's on my mind. And then I can serve that to AI and have it pull out actionable insights for me. So I've actually been recording this so far, and this one is Gemini. So this is our talk so far. Copy and paste. All right, now let me put the prompt in. I'm actually going to put the prompt at the top. Here's a hack for you guys. Let's see. I'm a brewer at the New York Brewers Association, and I'm listening to this girl drone on about AI. All I can think about is I wish I had a beer and a snack. So can you just summarize for me her 3 main points so far? Okay. As you can see, Gemini, pretty similar. Gemini's key advantage is Nano Banana Pro and Nano Banana 2, which is an image generation. Google owns YouTube. This has been a hot news item recently, that Google owns YouTube and essentially owns every video on YouTube. So I think they have a lot of great data for generating images. Okay, great. So we talked about the dots, right? That's in here. We talked about us challenger brands being able to succeed and the real world use cases. So now I'm going to take it a step further and I'm going to say it, tell it, give me one next action step that my brewery can take to improve our AI usage within an hour of this session. You guys aren't smiling. This is supposed to be fun. Is this fun? Okay. You're scared. Good. We haven't gotten to the scary parts yet. Okay. So, great. Yeah, so here we go. If you leave here, if you're going to drive home and skip the happy hour bingo, that makes me sad, but on your way, do some dictations. All right. Cool. All right, so as we're talking about things to put into AI, we've been doing a show of hands. Who here had their data leaked by Ashley Madison? I almost got you guys. Yeah, it's you don't, whatever you put into these ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, you don't own it once you've given it to them. And you can't take it back. So don't put anything that you wouldn't want to be made public. But let's talk about what you should put in. Let's talk about prompting. So I'm not giving you exact prompts because I am going to teach you the way I prompt with a custom GPT. Now this workflow feeds into our next one. So we're going to start stacking workflows. This is where you get the compounding gains. This is where you get elite level results from consumer grade tools. And we're going to do this. We're going to create a custom GPT inside of our shelf set analysis. So this is your last chance to send me a picture of a shelf set. Otherwise, you're going to learn all about Awestruck's shelf sets. Okay. And while I'm waiting to give you one more chance, 607-287-0670, but be aware this is going to be public. I'm going to tell you guys a story. So in 2023, as Hutch mentioned, we had a management change and we had to sort of pull the pieces together really quickly. And we started turning to AI. And I did demos with any company that anywhere on the internet advertised AI plus beer plus cider plus wine, anybody. And one of the people I did a demo with was Form, which is part of Go Spot Check. Do you guys know Go Spot Check? Okay. Go Spot Check is on every beer wholesaler rep's phone, iPad, and their job is to go into an account, take pictures, and upload them into Go Spot Check. Every beer wholesaler rep is using pretty much, I guess Anheuser-Busch has started making their own tool now, but that's Go Spot Check. So the guys on this call were super condescending to me, and they were using pre-recorded demos, which is a pet peeve of mine, especially when it comes to AI, because it's a really good way to make your tool look superior and effective when it's actually not. So I was like, oh, can I see a demo of your image recognition software? And they told me absolutely not. They weren't going to waste their time on me. I was too small and I couldn't afford it. So now it is my personal mission to tell every brewer in the world and cidery and winery, you don't need Form, you don't need Go Spot Check. You can do it with ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini for $20 a month. So we're going to do multi-stage here so you can see that you can use multiple LLMs at once. And so you can see the different levels of this workflow. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to use our prompt engineer custom GPT. So this is within ChatGPT. You're going to go over here to GPTs, explore GPTs, search. It comes up because it knows me. Yes.
What was the last 4 digits of that?
0670. All of the messages are going to be shown to the class, so beware. Okay, great. So here is our prompt engineer custom GPT. And we are going to build a new prompt from scratch. It already like kind of pre-prompts you what it's going to do. All right. So it's got kind of pre-programmed information, and later on I'm actually going to show you how you can build your own. These are really powerful. So write me a prompt that will solicit elite marketing insights from a shelf set photo. So I want to be able to upload a photo, and I want this prompt to pull meaningful insights out of it for a small-sized craft brewery in New York State to improve our marketing. Oh no, this is a live demo. I just exited out. This is why people pre-record. Okay. I am a small craft brewery and I want to know how my shelf sets are looking. I want you to write me a prompt that when I put a shelf set picture in will give me meaningful, actionable insights about how I can improve my sales. Okay. So I don't really give exact prompts, because these tools are getting so powerful, prompt engineering is still important, but it's not as necessary as it was. The bots are getting really good at guessing what you want, but also because this tool lets me put in basically like nonsense and comes up with a really good, ready-to-use prompt. So it's given the context, it's come up shopper engagement, increased visibility. These are things I wouldn't even know to ask for, and it's calling that out with just the little amount of information that it's a shelf set, right? So this I'm going to copy, and we're going to put it into, oops. Okay. So I'm showing you can also like switch between providers. And Audrey was talking earlier, sometimes she likes to pit them against each other, which can be a really fun exercise. All right, let's see what we got in here, guys. Literally no one has sent me a shelf set. This is from my husband. So we're gonna use this one. You guys are gonna learn about Awestruck. I saw, okay, so you guys are gonna learn all of our marketing intel. Now, you can see Claude knows me. I spend a lot of time with Claude. It's got my name. Oh my God. I'm so disappointed in this. Guys, it's saying it doesn't see Awestruck. Let's try. It's saying it's hard to spot. I don't know about this. I've done this live demo 10 plus times and it has never given me this response. Okay. So we're gonna stop Claude. Claude, Awestruck is clearly visible on the top shelf. You need to look again. Unbelievable. So something that might have happened here, when you give a really long prompt, so that prompt was pretty detailed, when you give a really long prompt like that, the AI can kind of lose its threads partway through. So if you ever do, like when you're doing those voice dictations and they get really long, what you want to do is inject your instructions multiple times throughout. So you want to be able to, you're going to say in the beginning, turn this voice transcript into a to-do list. And then you're going to say it again in the middle and then again at the end. Okay, so now it still doesn't have it right. I'm just in shock. It's a bad, Casey, I'm going to blame you. It's literally front and center. All right, well, we're going to try it in ChatGPT. I really wanted Claude to give Claude a chance to impress you guys, but so much for that.
I'm shocked.
Are you shocked?
I'm shocked that Claude let you down.
I'm shocked. I'm glad that you're here. That you're here to prove that this is shocking. But I told you we'd have fun. Now this is fun. We're having fun, right? If ChatGPT does a better job with this, I'm gonna be so upset. Okay. Let's see. So it's identified it as a busy cross-section between cider, European, and Belgian. Oh, I didn't tell him my brewery name. That's why. Let's see. I work for Awestruck. Awesome. Okay, ChatGPT found us. And hopefully you guys can find us too. These are the cans available at the bar. Okay, so it's pulling out, it says medium-low findability, but maybe looks like they're talking about the cider section as a whole. Might be hard for people to find cider. And they keep telling me that shoppers are going to look at the middle shelf first rather than the top shelf. So that middle shelf grab zone is where we want to be. Okay. All right, we got a new shelf set.
It's not mine, it was just one.
Well, thank you for
Wants to take a picture of it.
thank you for participating. Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, so here we go. We've got our action plan. Try to get to the middle shelf. And now you're going to say, write me a 2-line text to send to my sales rep to take one action next time they're in this store. Okay. So I'm actually not, I would never in a million years copy and paste this text. Like, first of all, it has no personality, and I'm super against using AI for communication in relationships that matter. But what this gives me is an idea of what to ask for, right? So it's giving me an idea of just the one step that I want this rep to take out of all of the information it gave me. Awesome. Okay, and this is a time, so how many people in this room think they could beat Gary Kasparov at chess? Nobody. In 1997, Deep Blue beat Gary Kasparov, and he went into like a midlife crisis. I don't know, didn't know what was up or down anymore. He was like, how was I beat by a computer? But then he came out of it and established a new style of chess, which is freestyle or centaur chess, half man, half machine. And in 2005, 2 amateur players with moderate machines beat grandmasters with superior machines and supercomputers with expert operators, because they understood that sort of man-machine combination better than anyone else. That was more important than the quality of their machines and more important than their chess knowledge, was how do I get the computer to do what I want? And this is continuing today. So in 2026, Claude Code hosted a hackathon, and software developers weren't the winners. There were 2 software developers. 3 of the other winners were an attorney, a cardiologist, and a roads worker. And this is what that Nielsen article is all about, right? You can use AI to do better. So while there's a lot of hype saying like, oh, save money, save time, all this, you want to really try to think about what's something I never could have done before that I can do now with AI. And now that I've told you not to try to use AI to save time, I'm going to teach you how to use AI to save time. This is actually, it's not necessarily saving you time, it's providing better service. So what if your bartenders could come in to their first shift fully, like with a leaping head start to provide amazing customer service and really like embody your brand right from the start. So we're gonna do a live demo of this tool, Notebook LM. Oops.
Effortless thing, right?
Yeah, very effortless, very cool.
Looking at this stack of sources we've got today, I mean, we are looking at the Tablet Compendium, their internal newsletters, and the troubleshooting logs from 2022 to 2025.
It's a lot messier behind the scenes at Gravity Ciders Inc.
Exactly. And so our mission today is to really analyze that intersection, how the staff bring.
So we just uploaded our compendium, our taproom logs, information we already had, and it created this
the gap between beer drinkers and cider, and how they, oh wait, someone wants to join. Hey, go for it.
I'm calling in from the New York Brewers Association conference, and help, we have a keg that's leaking. What's one thing that this might be causing, this?
Oh my gosh, we love that you're calling in right now.
You are live in the thick of it. That is fantastic.
That's exactly what we were about to dive into.
Yes. Based on the documentation we have, there is one very common fix for a leaking keg.
It's surprisingly simple, actually.
The log entry we found detailed a tapped keg leaking in the walk-in fridge.
The resolution was that the coupling nut on the keg's coupler was loose.
So grab a wrench, tighten that coupling nut on the coupler. That's the most likely culprit right there.
Give it a try and let us know if that works.
We were literally...
So every time I do this demo, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna run for the hills and live in a cave. And that brings me to the most important point I keep droning on about that Nielsen article. This is why I love it so much. Agility matters more than accuracy. So the companies that are winning in CPG right now aren't doing it because they're better at guessing what the future looks like. They're doing it because they're agile, because they're nimble. And this is the best time to be a small, mid-sized brand because you have that adaptability, that agility. And just as you're learning about AI, whenever you get overwhelmed, just remember, speed of adaptation outweighs accuracy of predictions. Okay, woo! Halfway through, but we're way more than halfway through. These next ones, we're gonna do one more workflow, and they all stack together. So I'm just gonna run through these. The first thing is the flipped interaction pattern. This is an academic way of saying, have AI interview you. Because AI doesn't have it has enough expertise to pull out your expertise, right? You saw the prompt that it generated. It knows enough to stimulate your thinking about what really matters. The next one is making custom GPTs. So we saw that custom GPT earlier, the prompt engineer, and you can make your own. And the way you do it is using that flipped interaction pattern. And then I'm going to show you how we stack these. So let's start by going into create a custom GPT. You go back to this Explore GPTs button, and then you hit create. So over here on the left-hand side is it's pre-programmed as a flipped interaction pattern chat. So it's going to ask you what you want to build, and it's going to ask you questions about what you're trying to do. It's going to help you choose a name. It's going to create a little logo, and it's going to just ask you questions about what you're trying to build. So I'm a New York State brewer, and I want to build a bot that understands my equipment, my brew system, my house style. So I want it to have the knowledge, the brain of my brewer. If I were to give it a recipe idea, it would know how to scale it up, all that kind of information. Do you see how I'm prompting in these really this is not super thought out. These tools are so powerful now that you don't have to stress over getting your prompts exactly right. They know how to pull out from you what information they need. Okay, so over here you also have the configure button. If you don't want to go through this chat, see it literally is filling this in right now. So it'll fill it in for you while you chat, or you can just fill this stuff in yourself. And over here is a preview. So you can see it's already come up with some suggestions just based on that little intel. For this to really work, you really have to put some time into it, probably at minimum half an hour, maybe even an hour, maybe weeks. The more you put in, the better the results you'll get. I already created one as a cider maker, so we're gonna go into that right now on how we stack GPTs. So, and this is where you really get these amazing benefits. Somebody shout out a flavor of cider that they would like to try. We already have that one. I love that one though. That's great. Yuzu, perfect. I want to make a yuzu cider. Let's try it. Let's see if it can do with just that information. Live demo. Maybe it's gonna embarrass me like Claude did. Okay, so it already knows our batch sizes. It already knows our target ABVs. It's got all of this information that I put in. It's got some ideas for me on how I might add in the yuzu. Some bench trials to test, what our production flow should look like. It knows that we use a crossflow filter, right? Like this is built-in knowledge. pH, okay, yuzu's gonna mess with our pH. Does that check?
I don't know, I've never used yuzu.
Okay. We thought you were the user. We thought you were the user expert. Okay, great. So the next person, now that I've got like a base kind of knowledge about what this cider could look like, the next person I'm going to tap in is, let's see, what did I put on my slide? The regulator. Okay, so now I'm going to tag regulator. I'm going to say, what regulatory concerns do I need to consider? So this regulator knows that I am in New York State. It knows that I have to file with the TTB. It has all of that information pre-programmed in. The reason that I'm doing this within ChatGPT, so you can make custom GPTs. In Gemini they're called gems, in Claude they're called projects, but ChatGPT so far is the only one where you can stack them like this. It's also the only one so far with an open marketplace, so like when I showed you earlier the Explore GPTs. I don't know what is happening today. When I showed you earlier the Explore GPTs, like Claude doesn't have a public marketplace like that, although you can share within your organization. All right, I'm just gonna stop it and retry it. All right. Oh, yuzu can create regulatory surprises. It's gonna be a non-standard cider. We're gonna need to get a cola. Okay. Ooh, it's calling us out if we're gonna use a concentrate. Okay, so it knows that we're using Velcrin to stabilize. Tax class. Okay, awesome. So there's our regulator. Now let's tap in our accountant. No, we're gonna do, who should we do first? All right, we'll do the accountant. I'm embarrassed to show the accountant because Audra just gave an incredible presentation. This accountant like doesn't even scratch the surface. But what are the financial reality concerns of this cider? Oh, I said cite instead of cider. We'll see what it does. It guessed. It called me out, I guess. Okay, great. So I have to be prepared that we're probably going to change our tax class and that yuzu is expensive. That's actually, we've never made a yuzu cider because, yeah, it's pricey. So these are not, like, we're not creating, this is not making a Bible for us on how we're going to do a yuzu cider, but it might flag something we didn't think of, like a weird rule that we didn't know about, and actually we can't even invest the time into prototyping that, right? And it gives us just a running start on prototyping these new flavors. And it's just amazing all of the things that it thinks of for us, right? Like there's gonna be things in here that you wouldn't have thought of. But it also is sort of things that you would have thought of because what the bot did was extract your brain. It's just got access to all parts of your brain when maybe you don't. Okay, that's good enough. We're gonna tap in our strategist now. I know it's going to be costly, but I want to go ahead with this. Should our marketing strategy be, especially because we know we're going to have to hit a higher price point? I know it's going to be pricey, but I want to go ahead with this. What should our marketing strategy be at this higher price point? The last one was user error. User error. I clicked on the X instead of the check. Okay, so now I've tapped in my strategist, and this is a marketing strategist. So it's going to give me some ideas on how I could position. It's going to, point out what it is, what it's not. Yuzu is greater than just citrus, right? There's a reason we're paying more for yuzu juice. And here's some ideas for the tap room, on premise, just a few accounts. And there's some, potential pricing strategy factors. It's got a little playbook here for us. So yeah, that's stacking GPTs. This can be really overwhelming. I promised you at the beginning you were going to feel overwhelmed. If you feel overwhelmed, that means you were paying attention. I'm so proud of you. This is stuff we've spent 3 years building, and I'm giving it to you in 1 hour, right? Like, you have learned a lot today. You learned 8 actionable workflows. You learned prompt generation, and this is a compounding system. Now, there's only one. We've actually been doing a case study on this, on how you can rapidly improve your AI usage company-wide, and that is by drinking more Awestruck cider and putting Awestruck cider on tap in your tap room. We are a New York farm cidery. That was Casey's joke. Okay, and you've also seen a tool, you've built a toolkit, right? You've not only learned these things, but you've gotten more familiar with these different tools. You've learned maybe some tools you didn't know about before, got more familiar with ones you already have. And I'm just gonna give you, I promised you earlier, a glimpse at the red dot, so I'm just gonna give you guys a sneak peek of what we've been, beyond these tools, what we're building at Awestruck. We're starting to use open source tools to build dashboards, and I actually showed this dashboard to the CEO of one of the largest wholesalers in New York State, and he asked, I was so proud, he was like, "Where'd you get your dashboard? Who did that dashboard?" And it's us. And you can build a dashboard like this with Claude Code, with Codex. That's what that little red dot looks like. So we're monitoring our distributors' inventory, we're monitoring our own inventories. We've got a whole bunch of different navigation. We've also got a sales dashboard. And these are tools, this is also that Nielsen article. These are the tools. Awestruck couldn't afford this 3 years ago. There's not even a realm. But now we can. Now everyone in the room has the ability to build and run this in their own cidery or brewery. This is exactly what that Nielsen article is about. This is how we're going to outcompete the big boys and girls. The other thing that we're building, just because it's really cool, this is not a live demo because you have to be in Sydney to run it, but we have it's a RAG, retrieval augmented generation. So we gave it our canning line service manual, and now we can troubleshoot it. It's basically a search engine for our service manual. So here you can see it's giving us the instructions for setting up the first op roller. This is my favorite part, is we asked it to tell us a story, and its whole world, its whole world is the service manual for this specific canning line. So it's telling us the story of the Lincoln 153060. And by the way, if anyone wants this canning line, we're about to throw it in the damn garbage because we're so sick of it. AI can't fix that yet. Okay, so hopefully that inspires you to keep in touch. We're trying to build publicly because we feel like as an industry, we can choose to use AI to all do better, to do amazing things, to outcompete the odds that are against us right now, or we can start using AI to save money, save time, and race to the bottom. We're going to compete against one another to go to the bottom. And our goal is to lift this whole industry up. We all need it. I love cider, I love beer, I love wine, and I want us to succeed. So this is a newsletter. I hope you guys will join my newsletter. It's 100% free, and I will give you the step-by-step workflow, number 9, for how I built this slideshow with Claude. So yeah, I didn't even design these beautiful slides. They were designed by Claude. And lastly, I've touched on this before, I have one cautionary rule and one request. This beer is a relationships business. Please don't use AI to harm your relationships. Jessica Infante from Brewing is wandering around here somewhere. Go up to her and ask her how Brewing feels about getting AI emails and AI press releases, right? It's bad news. So please be very thoughtful. You can use AI to prepare yourself for conversations or to put itself in the mind of your receiver and how does this land. And finally, I'm going to ask you to use AI to coach you through writing me a really positive testimonial for this talk. It would mean a lot to me if you would just shoot me an email if you enjoyed it. You guys can see this isn't the busiest room here. There's a lot of people that are still really scared and skeptical about AI, but I want to keep spreading this word and telling everyone we can grow together, we can, out-compete. So please, if you can just shoot me an email and let me know what you thought of the talk, that would mean the world to me. All right, 44 minutes. We've got 15 minutes for questions. I think that Hutch will come moderate for us. Questions? Well, I don't know. Everyone's like running to raise their hands. We have a skeptic in the audience. Are you still skeptical? Oh!
So, question for you. We basically standardized with Claude.
Okay.
But I saw you bouncing around, and obviously that's technically checking the deal possible. But if you wanted to stick with one, do you guys focus on one, or is it you bounce around a lot?
We bounce around for specific things. So like I said, image generation is largely, Gemini is just hands down the best. Although one of the things we're working on is called LoRa, L-O-R-A, and we're putting sort of our own, we're trying to get away from these bigger companies and switch back to like locally hosted models. But if I had to choose, but even still, I would never get rid of Claude. Claude is like, even though Claude just embarrassed me more than I've ever been embarrassed, ever. I've never had to do, okay, anyways, Claude. Yeah.
So my question is, if you're starting from scratch,
Yes.
If you're new to AI, you want to learn more about it, where do you start? What are the first things you should do? Get on ChatGPT and start playing around? Like, what's the most effective way to teach yourself how to get to where you got? Or, let's be honest, maybe not that far, but get to the point of being competent, use these things to be able to put them to use for you.
So definitely like playing around, I wouldn't recommend actually. It sort of is, what I would say is send me a really nice email, put Awestruck on tap in your tap room, and no, the second part's not mandatory, but advised. Send me a nice email and I'll share you my slides, only if it's a really nice email. And then you can follow the workflow. So I tried to be really like able to itemize those out. And I would just pick one workflow. The one I would choose is the voice transcript because it's just so natural. Like while you're commuting to work, I use the Voice Memos app on my iPhone. It's a free app. You put in your Bluetooth headphones and essentially have a call with, let's say you're gonna have a call with your advisor and be like, oh my God, I have so much to do. I don't know how to keep up. And the customers are like, they keep asking for different beers and we don't even make those beers and it's really getting annoying. Like, and then you can just copy and paste that without even prompting. And it usually knows what, like it can figure out what to do. So that would be my number one. Would that feel comfortable, do you think, for like somebody brand new?
I mean, certainly talking out loud rather than having to sit there and think thoroughly through what you're typing is more comfortable. But I'm even thinking more basically like, hey, I want to learn how to use AI. Sure, being able to talk to it is an easier way to do it, but where should I start for? I guess you have to have a goal in mind, right? If you don't have a goal in mind, then you've got nothing you can ask for. Mm-hmm. So I guess the first step maybe is to develop the goal of what you want this to help you do. I don't know, I'm just curious about, I think a lot of people here, we obviously have some people who are very experienced, but I think there's others who, like myself, are more new to dealing with it and are trying to figure out, obviously it's a very powerful tool.
Yeah.
But how can we now leverage it a little bit? But I think we've also got some maybe better and more questions.
Well, I would just say, open your phone, download Claude, pay for a paid subscription, and ask it to do one thing you think it can't do. That's where this presentation came from. I was like, there's no way it's gonna make me, there's no way it's gonna be able to make slides. And then I literally just was like, holy shit, it did it. Yeah. So.
Good. Well, to kind of go on what you were saying, I started with ChatGPT because it was the most prevalent one, and I was using it to help come up with social media posts because I suck at them. And it would give me some good prompts and stuff like that, and then I could tweak it from there, give it the proper human element. But I always started with ChatGPT. I found it good, and now I'm using Claude and Gemini and all the other ones, but I found that ChatGPT was a good jumping off point.
Cool.
Yeah.
Gio.
Are there any concerns about like inputting confidential information or IP or any information you don't want someone to steal, I guess? Like how does that work? Like,
Were you
AI
here for the
just
Ashley
take it?
Madison talk?
What's that?
Yeah, so this is why we're trying to switch to locally hosted models. It's harder to do, but then you have a lot more safety and security around your data. But yeah, this is like, if you upload it, it becomes their property. There's a huge like scandal going on right now because there's two marketers. One person used Gemini to create an image. This other person said, hey, that's my image. And it looks exactly like her. The marketer said, here's the prompt. Gemini made this, it's not you. And everyone around the world copied that prompt and got the same woman. And she is a YouTube influencer. Google literally owns the rights to her image. And so Gemini will continue to, there's nothing she can do. She can't retroactively opt out forever. She has trained the bots. So yeah, don't upload it if you're scared. Don't. Sorry.
No, I mean, it's good to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the earlier slides, I think it was the bio stuff about you.
Yeah.
And one of the lines was a business certificate with AI. Does that mean exactly what I think that means? And was that useful? And how did you prompt chat or whichever platform you used to get what you wanted out of that?
Oh, okay. No, I actually just took a certification course from University of Pennsylvania Wharton. It's called AI for Business.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but there's it's called, that's actually a great question. There's a woman who runs a school, it's called the Multiverse School. So like universe, but multiverse, the Multiverse School. She has a free course inside of ChatGPT. So it literally like teaches you how to use it as you're using it. So if you're looking for free resources, she's my #1 recommendation. She's so generous with her knowledge. She's a data security professor. And yeah, that's I guess for free courses, that's really what I would recommend. Yeah. Awesome. Oh yeah, the Multiverse School. How do you guys feel? Do you feel overwhelmed, scared? He's looking at me like, I want to get out. There's somebody in my way. I want to get out of here and get a beer. I still hate AI. Last time there was a skeptic in the audience, but I converted him. I'm going to blame Claude for this one. That's why we didn't convert him. Thank you guys so much. I'll be at the happy hour if anybody wants to connect.